just going to get my boots on because I think I'm going to need them. Last time I came here to Nethercott House, it was blowing a gale and pouring with rain. And having looked at the forecast before I came out, it's looking similarly threatening. In some ways that's quite appropriate because when children come here, as they do for a week at a time, to experience life in the countryside and work on a farm, they're obliged to come out in all weathers. The idea came from Clare Morpurgo, who together with her husband Michael set up the charity Farms for City Children 50 years ago. In 1976, they were just two young teachers with a vision to bring children from urban backgrounds to deepest Devon. And since then, the charity has hosted more than 100,000 kids who've come to experience views just like this one that Michael and Clare are about to show me close to their home.
Oh, look at this view. This is Ted Hughes' favourite view, isn't it?
Incredible. How would you describe it, Clare?
I mean, amazing, especially that shoulder of land coming through there. No trees can grow on it, nobody can cultivate it because it's too steep. It's so beautiful, isn't it? It's like a piece of sculpture.
And you used to come here as a child?
I came here when I was 7 the first time, and I just came back and back. My father had relations locally. I was put up in the local pub, and I came for my holidays on my own, and I just loved it. I ended up living here. But I think probably those very early days is what started us off.
It didn't give us the idea. It gave you the idea.
Okay.
You are the prime motivator in this, for good or bad. You're the prime motivator. Yes, it's a revisiting of your own dream, that's for sure.
It is, it's beautiful. It is, it hasn't changed, honestly, look at it. There's not a house in sight, is there?
No.
It is, it's
You
amazing.
can see the River Torridge running along the valley there. And this is a sheep field, and down the bottom is a water meadow, which is for sheep and for cattle. They put the cattle in first and then put the sheep in there afterwards. And no one else in sight. So when the children come down here, this is what's, I think, truly wonderful, and they walk the fields like Clare did. From here, they will see herons lifting off that river. They will see salmon or sea trout rising, and they've never seen that before. And with a little bit of luck, we'll come across an otter spraint, which I can dip my finger in and they can sniff and smell the fish. So they get some sense, really, of this is the place where not just we live, but nature lives. And walking across this field, not at this time of year, usually in the summer, the sound you hear, which is most evocative, I think, is the buzzers, isn't it, Clare, really?
And the swallows, and the swifts.
Well, you have your favourite, and I'll have mine. But the buzzards to me are there because they mew around each other, and they stay with their partners, and I rather like that.
You'd had this experience as a child,
Yeah.
and that obviously stayed with you.
Yeah.
And then why were you then in a position to set up the charity?
Well, we had this idea about doing it, and then very sadly my father died in 1970, and we thought this is the moment. He left enough money to buy a farm, and we thought, well, let's get on and do it. If we dream about it, let's do it.
And then when we both started teaching, what we both discovered was a truth which most teachers know, and that is that in any class of children, and actually anywhere, but particularly in areas where there is poverty, half your class might be benefiting from the education you were trying to give them. Problem was that the other half of the children, education wasn't reaching them at all. I mean, I think we just sat down one day and realised that what is the point in this teaching if we're not changing things, if all we're doing is prolonging a division between those that have and those that have not, then what's the point? So why not focus on those who have less?
72 we bought the cottage where we lived. 74 we bought the house, the big house. 76 the children started to come, and on we went.
Shall we move on?
Walk on?
Yeah.
Moving on.
Where are we going?
Down here, and we're going to go back now to the other part of the farm near Nethercott, and see the vegetable garden and see where the children gather for a story. Sometimes, particularly in the summer and the autumn months, around a fire, and see where the pigs are, see where the poultry's kept, all that sort of thing. The home farm, really, I think we call it now. So this is the part that we've been on now, is Simon Ward's farm, Bridgetown, which is, if you like, a completely normal Devon family farm. They work in both, the home farm and Simon's farm.
Can you explain to me how the partnership with the Ward family came about? Obviously, you were both teachers, but you didn't have a farming background.
No, I didn't know how to run
You
a
didn't
farm.
work as a farmer.
No, definitely not.
It was very amateur. We didn't really know what we were doing. We just knew we wanted them to be in the countryside, do roughly what Clare did, I suppose, when she was little.
These are the children who were going to come.
Yeah, we had no fixed idea other than we knew it was going to be new and wonderful for them. All a bit romantic and idiotic. And then an accident happened. Outside our house, I had a Land Rover at the time, and I reversed it into a ditch and got humiliatingly stuck, which my children thought was very funny. Indeed, my wife thought it was funny too. And along comes a 16-year-old David Ward, son of our local farmer, and leaned out of his tractor and said, "Oh, we've got a problem." And I said, "Well, sort of, I can't seem to get the car out of the ditch." And he got out and had a look and laughed. He laughed a lot, David. And he went back to the farm and he got a chain and he pulled me out of the ditch. And when he pulled me out of the ditch, he said, "Oh, you're the people who got Nethercott and the land there. Better come in for a cup of tea." We explained what we were going to do, and they said yes, they'd heard about it. How interesting. So at some stage, I don't know, a week or two later, we said, "Well, look, why don't we forget the rent, and maybe you two boys," one was I think 16 and the other was 18, "would like to work with the children, because you're proper farmers and we're not, and that would be wonderful because they'd be getting a genuine farm experience with people who were closer to their age," which was important, liked to talk about their farming, very proud of it. And anyway, it was agreed that would be the thing. So it was a kind of an exchange, if you like. And that's the way it went on. I mean, it's changed over the years. There've been, as there always are, these deals do change. But by and large, it's still the case that they have some land free, and in return for that, they work alongside us and alongside the children. So that's the way it worked. And that's the way, interestingly, the pattern we set up at Treguinness in Wales, and exactly the same pattern in Gloucestershire. And what's really wonderful is that on all three farms, the farmers have stayed with us the whole time. People who work for the charity have obviously changed one way or another over all the years. But the farmers have been the constant theme, and that's been really important.
Well, I wasn't expecting this. A sort
wonderful.
of secret garden.
No, isn't it wonderful? I think there are lots of reasons why we thought this was ideal for children. I think this secret garden, as you call it, a great walled garden.
Tiny one.
What have you got there?
It's like a bud from a butternut squash. It fell out while we were taking the butternut squash plants out.
Yeah, I got one too.
That was a proper one.
Oh, it does. It looks like a mini squash, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh, there's a little slug inside, look.
Tell me what it is that you're doing here.
We are taking out the butternut squash, and the other day we harvested it, and now we're taking out the leaves of it so we can clear the space for next year's harvest.
Ah, I see. And what does that involve?
Getting our hands dirty and like enjoying the part that we're actually like gardening. It's like a memory that we can keep forever. What you need to do with gardening is you have to connect with nature because you are nature yourself. So you have to make a bond with gardening to actually do it properly.
The key to it is that you've got to have people together and you've got to care for it lots.
It's the first time we've ever been here, but it's only been like 3 days, but it's one of the most amazing events of my life.
Feels like we've already been here for a lot of time, like since we've done so much.
It feels like so welcoming. It's a safe place, we know it's a safe place, and it's like amazing. It feels like home.
So they're really getting their hands dirty.
Yes, they are. And actually it's interesting because in recent years we've had to stop milking. We went milking for years and years and years and years. It was a big part of the farm. But for one reason or other, farming economics, everyone on the farm was getting older. And I think the general feeling was that it was time for a change. And the vegetables have grown enormously on each of the farms. Now they're wonderful vegetable gardens. So they get a real sense of how vegetables grow, when they grow, how you harvest them, how carefully you have to be planting them, all that sort of thing. But outside school, to learn outside school about the world about you is critically important. I mean, critically important. With the questions about the environment worldwide, nationally, all those things, they're going to grow up into a world where those are going to be foremost in people's mind and anxieties. And I think what we mustn't do as adults of today is to say, oh, we're going to teach them that. And they're going to think it's important because we've taught them that. No. They're going to think it's important if they've seen it for themselves, done it for themselves, understood it for themselves. Then they'll think, yeah, hang on, this is really important. No matter where you live, it's important for every child that's growing. And I think instinctively this is what Clare had in her and why I joined her in this enterprise, and actually why a lot of people locally joined her, because they could sort of see that this was having a profoundly wonderful effect on the children who came down here. It's taking these children to a place they've never been before, and that gives them a wider experience of life. And I think that's what Clare knew when she thought, well, I want all children to have this kind of experience. I think I'm right in saying that, or am I wrong? You can't contradict
I don't think
me.
I thought it that coherently at all. At all.
You're rather too modest in my view, if I might say that, after 62 years. I think the truth is that living and working with animals and being out in the countryside and seeing the birds flying and the fish jumping, it can have a huge effect on your life and what you do with it and how you feel about the world and about yourself.
Right guys, finish off. I need everybody to do one last big pile.
I'm Ravi Patel, I'm the head teacher at County Bridge Primary School in Walsall. We have a huge percentage of pupil premium, and obviously typically that's your disadvantaged children, disadvantaged families. So for a lot of our families, they don't even venture into Walsall, some of them.
You guys all right to go in and give them a tickle and just chat?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. There you go.
I never knew pigs have hair.
How does it work financially for the children to come here?
We subsidise ourselves for our children, and then the charity has a massive role to play. Without their donation, we just would not be able to make this journey and provide this experience for our children. It makes me ever so emotional when I think about it, because for our children it's a difference between having this amazing experience and never having this experience in their lifetime ever. So it really is just absolutely amazing.
Well, we're coming up to Christmas, aren't we? Won't be long. So I thought, children, today I'll read you a Christmas story. This poem is about a lucky Christmas tree. I hope you enjoy it. Aren't I the lucky one? I could have been cut down with the others and tossed up on the lorry with the others. Cut him down, said the forester. Too small. Won't never grow, that one. Never make a proper tree. Not never, he won't. Give him time, said another. Let's leave him be. Aren't I the lucky one? They left me there, the only one left. Then someone came by as darkness fell. Stopped when he saw me standing there. I thought that was that. But he didn't cut me down. He talked to me as he dug me up. You'll do very nicely, he said. Aren't I the lucky one? I was carried off over his
And I think that's where we'll leave them now. The children sitting around with rapt expressions on their faces, listening to Michael, reading the story of the Christmas tree that was saved for another year. Farming Today was produced and presented by me, Fiona Clampin.